Welcome to Accent Avenue, where English becomes exciting. Today, we explore one of the most beautiful buildings ever created by human hands, the Taj Mahal. This is not just a monument. This is a love story carved in white marble, a story of passion, loss, devotion, and eternal love. Millions of people visit the Taj Mahal every year. They take photos, they admire its beauty, but very few know the real story behind it. The story of a king who loved his wife so much that he built her a palace for eternity. Are you ready? Grab your headphones, sit back, and let's dive into this incredible tale that will improve your English and touch your heart. Let's begin. Our story begins in the year 1607 in the city of Agra, India. The Mughal Empire ruled most of India at that time. The emperor was Jahangir, a powerful king with wealth beyond imagination. Jahangir had many sons. One of them was named Prince Khurram. He was young, handsome, intelligent, and brave. He was his father's favorite son. One day, Prince Khurram was walking through the royal market. This was a special market where only royal family members could shop. The most expensive and beautiful things in the world were sold there. As he walked, he saw something that stopped him in his tracks. Not a jewel, not a sword, not gold. A girl. Her name was Arjumand Banu Begum. She was 14 years old. She was the daughter of a Persian noble family. She was selling silk and glass beads at her father's stall. Prince Khurram was 15 years old, and in that moment when their eyes met, something changed in his heart forever. He didn't just think she was beautiful, he felt something deeper, something that would last his entire life. He bought a diamond from her stall, not because he needed it, but because he wanted to talk to her. That night, he went to his father and said, "I have found the woman I want to marry." But there was a problem, a big problem. In the Mughal royal family, marriages were political. Princes didn't marry for love. They married to create alliances with powerful families. Prince Khurram's father, Emperor Jahangir, had already arranged a different marriage for him. He had to marry a Persian princess first to strengthen ties with Persia. The emperor told his son, "You must marry the Persian princess. After that, if you still want this girl, you can marry her too." Prince Khurram agreed, but in his heart he only wanted Arjumand. He married the Persian princess in 1612, but he never loved her. It was only a political arrangement. He waited. For 5 long years he waited. He could have married Arjumand immediately as a second wife, but he wanted to do it properly. He wanted a grand wedding that showed the world how much he loved her. Finally, in 1612, on an auspicious day chosen by astrologers, Prince Khurram married Arjumand Banu Begum. The wedding was magnificent. The entire city celebrated for days. Gold, jewels, silk, music, dancing, feasting. It was the grandest wedding anyone had ever seen. And from that day, Prince Khurram gave her a new name, a name that would become immortal in history, Mumtaz Mahal, which means jewel of the palace, and she became the jewel of his heart. Prince Khurram and Mumtaz Mahal's love was extraordinary. This was not just a royal arrangement, this was real love. Historical records show that the prince was completely devoted to her. He refused to take other wives, which was very unusual for Mughal emperors. Most emperors had many wives, but Khurram only wanted Mumtaz. He took her everywhere. When he went to war, she went with him. When he traveled to distant provinces, she traveled too. When he held court, she sat beside him, advising him. She was not just his wife, she was his companion, his advisor, his best friend, his soulmate. They had 14 children together. Yes, 14. In 19 years of marriage, she gave birth 14 times. This shows how much time they spent together. The people loved her. She was kind, generous, and compassionate. She helped the poor. She built schools for girls. She cared for widows and orphans. And Khurram loved her more with each passing day. In 1628, Prince Khurram's father died, and Khurram became the new emperor. He took the name Shah Jahan, which means King of the World. Now he had everything: power, wealth, an empire, and the woman he loved by his side. Life was perfect. But destiny had other plans. In 1631, Shah Jahan was leading a military campaign in the Deccan region of India. Taj Mahal was with him, as always. She was pregnant with their 14th child. During the journey, she went into labor. It was a difficult pregnancy. She had given birth 13 times before, and her body was weak. The labor lasted for 30 hours. She was in terrible pain. The royal doctors tried everything, but medicine in 1631 was limited. There was nothing they could do. On June 17, 1631, in a temporary camp in Burhanpur, Taj Mahal gave birth to a daughter. But there were complications. She was bleeding. She was dying.
Shah Jahan rushed to her side. He held her hand. He begged her not to leave him. She looked at him with tired eyes. She knew she was dying, and she made him promise something. Historical records say that she asked him for 4 things. Promise me you will never marry another woman after me. Promise me you will take care of our children. Promise me you will not grieve forever. Promise me you will build me something beautiful, something the world will never forget. Shah Jahan, with tears streaming down his face, promised all 4. And then, in his arms, Taj Mahal took her last breath. She was only 38 years old. They had been married for 19 years. The emperor's world collapsed. When Taj Mahal died, Shah Jahan did something no emperor had ever done. He stopped ruling. For 1 full week, he locked himself in his room. He refused to eat. He refused to sleep. He refused to meet anyone. When he finally came out, people were shocked. His hair had turned completely white in just 1 week from grief. He stopped wearing colorful clothes. He only wore white. He stopped listening to music. He stopped celebrating festivals. He gave up all pleasures. He declared official mourning throughout the empire. No music, no celebrations, no festivities. For 2 years, the entire empire mourned with him. But Shah Jahan didn't just mourn. He remembered his promise, his 4th promise to Mumtaz. I will build you something beautiful, something the world will never forget. And that's when he made the decision that would create one of the 7 wonders of the world. He would build her a tomb, not just any tomb, the most beautiful tomb ever created, a monument to eternal love. He would build the Taj Mahal.
Shah Jahan calling together the greatest architects, artists, and craftsmen from across the world. He said, I want to build a monument to my wife. It must be perfect. It must be more beautiful than anything the world has ever seen. Money is no object. Time is no object. I want perfection. Architects came from Persia, Turkey, and Europe. They brought different ideas, different styles. Shah Jahan studied them all. He chose a location on the banks of the Yamuna River in Agra. a beautiful, peaceful spot where the monument would be reflected in the water. He wanted the entire structure made of white marble, not ordinary marble, the finest white marble from Makrana, Rajasthan, the same marble that seemed to glow in moonlight. But white marble alone was not enough. He wanted the marble decorated with precious stones, lapis lazuli from Afghanistan, jade from China, turquoise from Tibet, sapphire from Sri Lanka, carnelian from Arabia. 28 different types of precious and semi-precious stones would be used. The design would be perfectly symmetrical, everything balanced, everything harmonious, because Mumtaz brought balance to his life. The dome would be massive, so big that it would look like heaven itself was resting on earth. There would be 4 minarets, one at each corner, tall, elegant, pointing toward the sky. Gardens with fountains and pools would surround the monument, gardens representing paradise. This was not just architecture, this was a poem in marble, a prayer in stone, a love letter that would last forever. But Shah Jahan knew this would take time, enormous time, and enormous sacrifice. In 1632, construction of the Taj Mahal began. It would take 22 years to complete. 22 years of continuous work. Shah Jahan hired 20,000 workers, not slaves, paid workers, the best craftsmen, masons, calligraphers, sculptors, and artists from India and beyond. He hired 1,000 elephants to transport the heavy marble blocks from Makrana, which was 300 kilometers away. The foundation alone took 4 years. They had to dig deep and fill the foundation with rubble to make it strong enough to hold the massive structure. Then, slowly, stone by stone, the monument began to rise. The main tomb took 12 years to build. The white marble was carved with such precision that the joints between stones are almost invisible. You cannot slip a knife between the marble blocks.
Artists worked on the inlay work. They cut tiny pieces of precious stones and fitted them into the marble to create flowers, vines, and patterns. One flower could take weeks to complete. Calligraphers wrote verses from the Quran on the walls. The calligraphy was designed so perfectly that from the ground, all letters appear the same size, even though the higher letters are actually larger. The dome was a massive engineering challenge. It stands 35 meters high and is perfectly proportional to the rest of the structure. The 4 minarets were built with a slight outward tilt. Why? So that if there's ever an earthquake, they will fall away from the main tomb, not onto it. This shows the incredible engineering knowledge of that time. Day after day, year after year, workers labored. Some died. Some went blind from the detailed work. But they continued because they knew they were building something immortal. Finally, in 1653, the Taj Mahal was completed. 22 years, thousands of workers, millions of rupees. But when Shah Jahan saw the finished monument, he knew it was worth it. It was perfect. The Taj Mahal is not just beautiful, it's mathematically perfect. Everything is symmetrical. Everything is balanced. The proportions follow sacred geometry. The white marble changes color throughout the day. In the morning, it looks pinkish. At noon, it's brilliant white. In the evening, it turns golden. At night, under the full moon, it glows silver. It's like the monument is alive, breathing, changing with time. Inside the main chamber lies the tomb of Mumtaz Mahal, and beside it, the tomb of Shah Jahan himself. Yes, Shah Jahan is buried there too, but we'll get to that story. The tombs are surrounded by an octagonal marble screen, carved so delicately it looks like lace. Light filters through it, creating patterns on the floor. The gardens are designed as a representation of paradise. 4 water channels divide the garden into 4 parts, representing the 4 rivers of paradise mentioned in the Quran. In the center of the garden is a large pool. When the water is still, the Taj Mahal reflects perfectly in it. It looks like there are 2 Taj Mahals, one on earth, one in heaven. The entire complex includes the main mausoleum, a mosque, a guest house, and the gardens. Everything perfectly planned, everything perfectly executed. People who visit the Taj Mahal often cry, not from sadness, from the overwhelming beauty. It touches something deep in the human soul. It reminds us that love is real, that beauty is real, that something eternal can be created in this temporary world. After Mumtaz Mahal died, Shah Jahan never remarried. He kept his promise. He ruled for 17 more years after her death, but he was never the same. Part of him died with her. He poured all his grief, all his love, all his soul into building the Taj Mahal. But in 1658, tragedy struck again. Shah Jahan fell seriously ill. His sons saw an opportunity. His third son, Aurangzeb, was ambitious and ruthless. He started a war against his brothers. He killed 2 of them. He imprisoned the other. Then he imprisoned his own father. Shah Jahan was placed under house arrest in Agra Fort, just across the river from the Taj Mahal. For 8 years, the king who once ruled the world was a prisoner in his own palace. But his prison had one window that faced the Taj Mahal. Every day, Shah Jahan would sit by that window. He would look at the white dome of the Taj Mahal. He would remember Mumtaz. He would remember their love. That window became his whole world. He could see the monument he built for her. He could see where she rested. And in a way, he could feel close to her again. In 1666, after 8 years of imprisonment, Shah Jahan died. He was 74 years old. His last wish was to be buried next to Mumtaz Mahal. And Aurangzeb, despite everything, honored that wish. Shah Jahan was buried in the Taj Mahal next to his beloved wife. They had been separated for 35 years, but now they were together again, forever.
Over the centuries, many legends have grown around the Taj Mahal. Some are true, some are myths. The story says that after the Taj Mahal was completed, Shah Jahan cut off the hands of all the workers so they could never build anything as beautiful again. This is false. Historical records show that the workers were paid well and went on to work on other projects. This myth was created to make Shah Jahan look cruel. Some say Shah Jahan wanted to build an identical monument in black marble across the river for himself, connected to the white Taj Mahal by a bridge. There's no strong evidence for this, but it's a beautiful romantic story. Legend 3. The Taj Mahal was originally a Hindu temple. Some people claim the Taj Mahal was actually a Hindu temple that Shah Jahan converted into a tomb. This has been completely debunked by historians and archaeologists. All evidence shows it was built from scratch as an Islamic mausoleum. Legend 4. The monument is sinking. Some say the wooden foundation is rotting because the river has dried up and the monument is slowly sinking. Partially true. The river water level has decreased, which has affected the wooden logs in the foundation. The Indian government is working to preserve it, but it's not dramatically sinking. What is true? The Taj Mahal is one of the most visited monuments in the world. Over 7 to 8 million people visit every year. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's considered one of the 7 wonders of the modern world, and it's still standing strong 370 years later. The Taj Mahal is more than a building. It represents something universal. It represents eternal love. In a world where relationships are temporary, where marriages end, where love fades, the Taj Mahal stands as proof that real love can last forever. It represents grief transformed into beauty. Shah Jahan could have let grief destroy him. Instead, he created something beautiful from his pain. It represents human achievement. Without modern technology, without machines, with only human hands and determination, people created this masterpiece. It represents the power of devotion. Shah Jahan devoted 22 years and unlimited resources to honor one woman. That level of devotion is rare. When people visit the Taj Mahal today, they don't just see a beautiful building, they feel something. They feel the love between Shah Jahan and Mumtaz, the pain of loss, the power of memory, the possibility of creating something eternal. That's why people cry when they see it. That's why it touches hearts across cultures, religions, and generations. Because love is universal, loss is universal, and the desire to create something meaningful is universal. The Taj Mahal speaks to all of that. This story of the Taj Mahal teaches us powerful lessons. Lesson 1. True love is rare but real. Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal's love was genuine, not perfect, but genuine. In a world of political marriages, they chose each other. Real love still exists. Lesson 2. Grief can be transformed. Shah Jahan didn't let grief destroy him. He channeled it into creation. When you lose something, you can create something beautiful from that pain. Lesson 3. Patience creates masterpieces. The Taj Mahal took 22 years of continuous effort. Great things take time. Don't rush. Build carefully. Lesson 4. Beauty inspires humanity. For nearly 400 years, people from all over the world have traveled to see this monument. Beauty has the power to unite people across all boundaries. Lesson 5. Leave something behind. Shah Jahan is gone. Mumtaz Mahal is gone. But what they created remains. What will you leave behind? What will people remember you for? Lesson 6. Love is worth celebrating. The Taj Mahal is a celebration of love. We should celebrate the people we love while they're alive, not just mourn them when they're gone. Today, the Taj Mahal faces new challenges. Pollution from nearby factories has been turning the white marble yellow. The Indian government has closed many factories and restricted traffic near the monument. The Yamuna River, which once flowed beautifully beside the Taj Mahal, is now heavily polluted and has less water. Climate change is affecting the monument. Extreme weather, heavy rains, and temperature changes are causing stress to the structure. The Indian government and UNESCO are working together to preserve it. Restoration work is ongoing. Mud packs are applied to the marble to clean it. Scientists monitor every crack, every change, because the world cannot afford to lose the Taj Mahal. It belongs to humanity, not just India. Visiting rules have become stricter. Only 40,000 visitors allowed per day. Visitors must stay for a maximum of 3 hours. No plastic, no food allowed inside. Shoes must be removed or covered before entering. These rules protect the monument for future generations. The story of the Taj Mahal is a story of love, loss, and legacy. Shah Jahan lost the woman he loved, but he made sure the world would never forget her. He made sure their love story would be told for centuries, and he succeeded. Today, nearly 400 years later, millions of people know the name Mumtaz Mahal. They know the love story. They know the sacrifice. That's immortality, not of the body, but of memory, of love, of meaning. When you look at the Taj Mahal, you're not just seeing marble and stones. You're seeing a man's heart carved into architecture. You're seeing 22 years of devotion. You're seeing proof that humans can create something eternal. And perhaps most importantly, you're reminded that love matters. Love is worth fighting for. Love is worth building for. Love is worth everything. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history on Accent Avenue. If this story moved you, if it taught you something, if it improved your English, please like, share, and subscribe. We don't just teach English here, we tell stories that change the way you see the world. Remember, the Taj Mahal is not just a monument, it's a reminder that love can be eternal, that beauty can last forever, that grief can become art, and that what we create in this life can outlive us. See you in the next story. Keep learning, keep growing, keep believing in love. As Shah Jahan showed us, true love never dies, it just transforms into something even more beautiful. Welcome to Accent Avenue, where English meets history and stories touch hearts forever. If you ever visit the Taj Mahal, stand quietly for a moment. Feel the love that built it. Feel the grief that shaped it. Feel the beauty that makes it eternal. And remember, you too can create something that lasts. Maybe not in marble, but in kindness, in love, in the lives you touch. That's your Taj Mahal.